Hey, thank you so much for watching. I'm Pippi Peterson. You can connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as my website at pippinings.com. So, one of my favorite things to eat are plantains. They look like this. They look like bananas, but they're not. They're a little bit bigger and thicker. The skin's thicker, and when you buy them at the store, they're often green, at least in the US. So, the one thing about plantains is there's two ways to cook them or eat them or enjoy them. One way is to eat them a little more green. So that's going to be more of like a potato. You'd make it more savory. Or you can let them ripen a little bit more until they're like almost black. Like definitely more than you'd want to eat a banana. And once they get that way, they are much softer and sweeter, and when you cook them, they caramelize and they get a little crispy on the edges, and they're so sweet. So I absolutely love them. Since you buy them green, you have to kind of like be prepared. You can't like ripen them faster than they get ripe. So when you buy them green, you have to know that they're going to sit for like 2 weeks or something. When they do get ripe, like this, you can stop the ripening process by putting them in the refrigerator. And at that point you have to eat them, somewhat soon. So when I was in, and then sometimes let's say you leave them out and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to make plantains with dinner tonight or tomorrow, and you don't get around to it. The worst thing is so many times I've had these go so ripe that then I just got to throw them away. And then I got to start over with like the whole 2-week process. So when I was in Puerto Rico, I was at the grocery store and I bought plantains that were frozen. So that gave me a great idea. I mean, they were literally just cut up and frozen. They were ripened by some company, and then cut up and frozen. So I love that idea because then I don't have to eat a whole plantain as a serving. I can have as many as I want. Another thing to note is when you are ripening your plantains at home, you should turn them, every once in a while to each different side. Then they ripen a little more evenly. You can see this one's pretty black on this side and kind of yellow on this side. I'm going to try for the first time ever freezing them because I just absolutely love that idea of being able to preserve them and access as much plantain as I want. So as much or as little. So anyway, the way to cut a plantain, you're just going to cut off the ends. Then, unlike a banana, you can't really peel it because it's a bit more, fibrous or something. So the best way to do it is just cut a line right down the middle. And now you can just peel the skin away from the plantain on the inside. So plantains are eaten fried like all around the Caribbean, and I know a lot of Latin America. I don't know exactly which countries, but they're pretty popular everywhere. Fried when they're sweet. Okay, so there's another way to do it when they are a little less ripe. I know in Cuba, because a friend of mine who's actually Venezuelan, he told me about these, but I think he said they were Cuban. And I'm sure they're in other countries. In fact, I know they're in Puerto Rico, but they're called tostones, which I think just means kind of like, toasted. And they refer to plantains that are cut and squished and then fried squished, and they're more savory. Whereas when you fry them up, I know in Puerto Rico and maybe some other Spanish-speaking locations, they might be called amarillos, which means like yellow, yellows. Though in the Bahamas, they don't speak Spanish and they have the same exact thing. So you might just, I think they might just be called like fried plantains. The riper they are, the easier they peel. You can see that these two are riper than these two because the peel came off much easier, and these ones I had to battle a little bit, sometimes digging out a little bit of skin here and there. So now I am ready to cut these in kind of a traditional way to cut. And when I say traditional, this is only from my experiences in the Bahamas and Puerto Rico. I don't know if I've had them elsewhere, But those are two very different cultures, so I'm guessing the tradition of fried plantains is a little cross-cultural. So how I've always seen it is they're cut a little bit diagonal. They're not cut like coins. Once you get them all cut, then just put them in a freezer Ziploc bag. And they are ready for the freezer. So, I got a week or two worth of plantains that I can add as a side dish to any sort of meal. Of course, when I say any sort, I just thought like, probably wouldn't want fried plantains with lasagna or something. So anyway, but like chicken or rice and beans, like this is perfect. Alright, so this has been frozen for a few days, and I think I'm going to make some. So I'm going to get some coconut oil, just because I love to work with coconut oil. You could not use oil if you're going to use one of those non-stick pans, but really the oil is kind of nice because it will caramelize and make the edges, you know, kind of crispy. So I'll just put a few in. So let those cook on low to medium for like 5 to 10 minutes. And if you see them getting mushy, that's actually kind of a good thing because, you know, then you know the inside's cooked and then the outside's going to start caramelizing and getting a little crispy. And I like to put a little bit of salt on mine. It kind of enhances the sweetness flavor. So once your plantains are golden brown and kind of crystallized on each side, then they are ready to eat. And I'm going to enjoy mine with, I made some dirty rice with ground turkey and some cilantro. So good. Really, really good. Thank you so much for watching. Bon appetit. Definitely try plantains out because they're a wonderful addition to all sorts of meals. Anyway, come on over to pippinings.com. You can join RV living discussions on the forums. You can buy RV supplies as well as get your Ready Row Let's Go t-shirt.